From WNDU, your breaking news and weather authority, this is News Center 16 at 11.
Silver bullets. 2 men are behind bars after bullets fly on a crowded Silver Beach in St. Joseph. Urban decay. Part of an old building in downtown Benton Harbor unexpectedly collapses, showering bricks in the middle of Main Street. Second chance. Mishawaka schools will try again to get voters to approve higher taxes for needed capital improvements.
Breaking news now. We'll get to those stories in a moment, but we have breaking news out of downtown South Bend right now. Police are responding to a fatal shooting. You're taking a live look from the intersection of Colfax and Main in the heart of downtown South Bend. Police say the call came in just before 10:30 tonight. When they arrived, they found a man's body in the street. As you can see, there is still a heavy police presence. We have crews on the scene and we'll bring you the latest information on this shooting in downtown South Bend as the information comes into us. In other news, 2 questions. You'll find those on the election ballot this November. That is, if you call Mishawaka home. The questions address multi-million-dollar upgrades in the school district. Maria Catanzarite went to tonight's school board meeting. And Maria, what kind of upgrades are we talking about?
Well, things like adding video surveillance inside and outside every school building to putting locks inside all classrooms. But the million-dollar question some have raised, was the school board transparent in the referendum process? Well, their response, clear as crystal. Sloppy handwriting?
Not mumbo-jumbo, sophistic wrangling.
Or easy to understand.
The thoroughness that you've gone through, the reaching out to the public.
Polar public opinions when it came to Mishawaka School Board's approach to multi-million-dollar ballot proposals. Still no doubt among board officials why the district needs the dollars.
It's critical to the quality of education.
First up, a capital needs referendum. Worth $13 million over 15 years, with taxes possibly going up in 2018. The short list of upgrades includes things like new security cameras and interior door locks to all schools. Plus, it calls for revamping heating and air in some buildings. Then there's referendum number 2. This is for $1.8 million over 7 years. If passed, the money raised pays for improved school software, employee pay, and helps control class sizes. This would kick in 2017.
There was no clarity on what this referendum was for.
Holly Parks on the outside looking in back in 2012 when School City tried to pass a $28 million initiative, but now she says it's a different story.
We're at a stage 10 for communication. It has to be every chance we get, we're having conversations with anybody and everybody who wants to listen.
The board's VP trying to communicate that the stakes of 2 proposals far surpass the playground.
We get the point across. Everybody understands just exactly how important this is to Mishawaka community, not just School City of Mishawaka.
Now, seeing these referendums are pretty complicated. My guess is that there will be more meetings coming up, right?
Yeah, most definitely. So coming up on June 14th, that'll be the next full school board meeting. The school board is really going to get into heavy that $13 million referendum, trying to itemize the different capital improvements that they hope that voters will pass coming this November.
Okay, and we remember a few years ago the referendums failed, so I'm sure officials there are hoping the second time will be the charm.
Yep, exactly.
All right, Maria, thanks a lot. Well, in Benton Harbor, a vacant building in the city's business district collapsed into the street, sending debris into the middle of Main Street this afternoon. According to our reporting partners at WSJM, the building is right across from the Comcast building. Fortunately, no one was hurt, and at the time of the collapse, the street was free of moving traffic. The building was the longtime headquarters for Ridge and Kramer Auto Parts. Benton Harbor public safety officers responded to the scene quickly and blocked it off as crews cleared the street and the sidewalk. The owner had been making plans to open a restaurant and bar in the building. New at 11, a woman's body was found in a Benton Harbor Park memorial today. Police say they found Andrea Palmisano unresponsive at Union Park near Union and Emory. The cause of death is unknown at this time, although some controlled substances were found with Palmisano. The Berrien County Medical Examiner's Office is investigating. Meanwhile, the search for a missing 34-year-old Three Rivers woman has come to a tragic end. Kellyanne Guthrie's body was found tonight near the intersection of M60 and Mankey Road northeast of Three Rivers. According to the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office, there were no signs of foul play. She had been missing since Saturday. An autopsy has been scheduled for tomorrow. Another holiday weekend brought another black eye for St. Joseph's Signature Beach. This time, shots were fired into a crowd near the restrooms at Silver Beach Monday night shortly before 9. Today, detectives were still gathering evidence at the scene. Meantime, an Elkhart man has been arrested and charged with firing at least some of the bullets. 26-year-old Velver Robinson is being held on a $100,000 bond.
There was a lot of people down on the beach, I would say several hundred. So that you had a lot of people yelling and screaming, running after the shots were fired.
A second Elkhart man was charged with carrying a concealed weapon. The sheriff estimates 10 shots were fired, although no one was hit or injured. The gunfire came after a group from Elkhart got into a disagreement with some locals. With President Obama coming to Elkhart tomorrow, residents are gearing up for what will likely be his final visit to the community as president. More than 100 residents lined up outside Concord High School in hopes of getting a ticket to the president's speech. The last time Mr. Obama was in town was 7 years ago. And for many, this will be their first time seeing the president in person. But for one young resident, he's getting a second shot.
I was in 6th grade at Concord West Side, and meeting the president, that was the only thing I talked about for like my whole life. Oh, I met the president. Oh, I met the president.
First you had like butterflies and you felt kind of nauseous, then eventually when you shook his hand, you felt okay and calm and relaxed.
Now I get to do it again. It was a monumental time back then, and it's going to be something I remember for the rest of my life.
Doors open at Concord High School tomorrow at 1 p.m. And News Center 16 will have special live coverage of President Obama's visit to Michiana. Be sure to follow us on air and online. Well, what type of weather will greet the president while he's in Michiana? Here's Mike.
Terry, there's no doubt we have to watch out for that possibility of a thunderstorm, maybe even a heavier thunderstorm. So that's something we'll just have to pay attention to tomorrow. In the meantime, these are lingering light showers that will quickly diminish over the next hour or two. Off to the west is a band of showers and thunderstorms, though, and that will be heading our way along with a cold front during the day tomorrow. So here's my day planner. As we start today, should be dry and pleasant, but a thunderstorm will be around once or twice during the afternoon hours. Might even be a line of storms, and we'll have to watch for that chance of severe weather. We'll talk more about that coming up and have your 7-day in a few minutes.
Mike, thank you. A heartbreaking scene of record flooding and devastation along the Brazos River today in southeast Texas. This aerial video shows cattle in deep floodwater searching for higher ground with no pasture in sight. Not far away, horses took shelter on someone's front porch because it's the only place to avoid the rising water. And the heartbreaking video shows a pup having trouble keeping its head above water. Rescuers arrived to find it tied to a post they assumed to protect the home. They were able to free the traumatized animal and carry it to a boat and to higher ground. Emergency officials say this is the worst flooding in more than 100 years. Well, tomorrow marks the start of hurricane season, and folks in Washington are working to keep people prepared. A new piece of technology could give hurricane centers the most advanced readings to date, something crucial for at-risk states. Our Washington Bureau's Peter Zampa spoke with some of the people trying to make it happen.
It's called the Coyote, and this unmanned aircraft could change how experts predict hurricane strength and movement. Florida Senator Bill Nelson says the state-of-the-art technology is hugely important for his home state.
You can get all kind of instrument readings that allow you to better forecast exactly what that hurricane is going to do and how big of a monster it is.
Before this drone's creation, tools used to analyze hurricanes only gave experts a short look at storms. This aircraft can potentially hang out on the walls of a hurricane for hours on end. Dr. Joe Cione spearheaded the effort for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA.
I'm interested in a movie, not a snapshot. So we realized the only way we really can do this is if we can get an aircraft that's able to fly very, very low, fly in very high winds, and really give us a better understanding of what's going on down there.
The aircraft also serves military purposes. Raytheon originally designed it for the Department of Defense, and John Hobday from Raytheon says these multi-purpose machines are the way of the future.
I see the benefit of this going from a military purpose to a civilian purpose.
NOAA has been testing the Coyote for a few years now. They're nearly ready for the product to be fully operational, putting 7 into use this year.
You're going to be able to get a much better estimate of what those winds are. Why is that important? How does that help people? Because that's the difference between evacuating a community or not.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Peter Zampa.
The team is now looking to boost the battery life of Coyote to make for longer flight times. A new health warning tonight. General Mills has issued a voluntary recall of several brands of flour due to a possible E. coli contamination, which may be linked to Gold Medal, Wondra, and Signature Kitchens flour. And we have them all up on your screen right now. The CDC found about half of those with the illness reported making something with flour before becoming ill. It's important to note that E. coli has not been found in any General Mills products or in the flour manufacturing facility, but the company says they're being abundantly cautious. Cleveland city officials say they're ready for the upcoming National Republican Convention, and they pledge to take a different approach to provide security, one that includes lots of video recording of police interactions and a focus on community engagement. What you won't see, many officers carrying military-style weapons or wearing personal protective gear. Donald Trump's rallies have drawn intense protests, and some demonstrations have resulted in violence. Authorities said today people can expect to see more police officers on bicycles, horses, and motorcycles. These officers will be wearing body cameras. The police department has also created a video unit to help document incidents involving their officers, saying they want to be an open book. Thursday, a group will bike to Riley Children's Hospital in a fundraising effort, but today the man who started it all received the state's highest honor. Retired language arts teacher Bob Yenna received the Sagamore of the Wabash Award. While the governor himself couldn't be there, in a surprise assembly, Yenna received the award at Grissom Middle School. Yenna and fellow PHM teacher Jim Baer both had children with rare cancer, so they decided to start fundraising, and so began the annual ride. Since the first ride more than 15 years ago, they've raised $220,000 for Riley. If you're a Niles resident, this story is for you. No one won the jackpot in Friday's Mega Millions drawing, but at least one person got the second biggest prize, $1 million. The ticket was sold at Sunrise Sunset Party Store on Huntley Road. The player matched the 5 white balls drawn. We have those numbers at the bottom of the screen. So before you go to bed, double check your ticket. You may not need to go to work tomorrow. Well, still ahead, parts of the area are ending the night with rain, but how bad will tomorrow be? Mike has the answer, and your Storm Team 16 forecast next. Plus, people watching this road rage crash couldn't believe their eyes, but for the two on the motorcycle, they're still reliving the moment they could have died.
You're watching WNDU, your breaking news and weather authority. News Center 16 at 11. Tracking weather with an hour-by-hour forecast. Storm Team 16 is your weather authority.
While it's not likely to get severe weather tomorrow or damaging thunderstorms, it is a slight possibility, so that's why the Storm Prediction Center has us in the marginal risk area. You can see that really extends from most of our area except the far southeast all the way back through northern Illinois. So it just depends on how things come together. If everything comes together just right and all the timing's perfect, then we might see a few severe thunderstorms in that large area there. But for the most part, probably not going to happen, and we're not seeing any severe weather today with this line of showers and thunderstorms right now in eastern Iowa and central Wisconsin. No warnings at all along that line. I just checked a few minutes ago. 16 Doppler max showing a few lingering light showers. Moving northward, those will quickly come to an end. We barely got enough to wet the ground here in South Bend, just 0.02 of an inch. We really could use a little more rain, and we have a better chance for that tomorrow. Here's our downtown South Bend Skyview camera, 65 degrees right now We've had a few sprinkles over the last hour. Winds right now are calm. Checking out temperatures, mid-60s to around that 70-degree mark. Most areas that did see those showers quickly fell into the 70s this afternoon and then eventually into the 60s this evening. So here's what the future looks like with 16 Future Track. Warm front will move on by. That will take that chance for showers with it. Now, Future Track a little quicker with the showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, showing a band already in the northwestern Indiana at 7 a.m. That would be a little bit unusual, in my opinion. I think there'd be a better chance by noon or even into the afternoon, but you'll notice Future Track not showing anything organized at all, and that would be great news. That would mean our risk of severe weather would pretty much be non-existent. So that's something we'll watch. Cold front then comes through tomorrow evening, taking any chance of showers out of the way. So our possibility of getting wet during the day tomorrow, especially midday and afternoon. After that, we're drying out. Partly sunny skies expected throughout the day on Thursday. High pressure builds in from the west. And as that system moves on by, you can see the high comes in and continues our nice weather on into the day on Friday. And that should last through Friday as well. So a couple of nice days coming for Thursday and Friday. Next cold front, along with moisture from a stalled out front to the south, will bring us a chance for showers and thunderstorms again over the weekend. Here's my Storm Team 16 forecast for all of Michiana for tonight. Spotty showers ending, partly cloudy most of the night. Low temperature down to 63. 7-day planning forecast, breakfast time tomorrow, partly cloudy, then a chance of a thunderstorm midday and afternoon. I think overall most of us get something. Yellow day, high temperature of 83. Then for Thursday, we're looking for a green day, a bit cooler, partly sunny and comfortable. On into Friday, another green day with lots of sunshine and a high temperature again of 77. And as we head into the day on Saturday, it looks like by late in the day, a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Still a chance on into Sunday. High Sunday and Monday, only 70 degrees, so much cooler air coming in. And you can see in the 16-day outlook, temperatures near or below normal as we head through the first couple of weeks of June, but nothing too cold coming our way. Folks, it's time to announce the final winner of a Storm Team 16 umbrella. Stephen Kramer, of South Bend. Congratulations. We'll be contacting Stephen to come and pick up his prize, and thank you to everyone who participated in this month's umbrella giveaway contest. And we may need an umbrella tomorrow. We'll be back with a wrap up on the weather at the end of the show, but also more news and sports right after this.
And welcome back. We've been following breaking news out of downtown South Bend. A man's body found in the middle of the street on Colfax in Maine, the victim of an apparent shooting. That's where we find Maria Catanzarite. And Maria, what do we know now? Do you have any update for us?
Well, Terry, still very little is known at this time, but just to reiterate what you just said, it was shortly before 10:30 p.m. this evening, a man was apparently found to be fatally shot dead right in the middle of Maine and Colfax, right behind me, just north of Fiddler's Hearth Bar and Restaurant. As you can see, police are still combing the scene, the yellow Crime Stopper tape still flapping. A number of these streets, they're closed right now. Police are still trying to, peruse the scene, try to find any idea of a motive, which we still don't know at this time. This only happened less than an hour ago when they found the man's body in the middle of the street, apparently shot just before 10:30 this evening. Again, we'll be sure to bring you more updates on air, online, and on social media throughout tonight and into tomorrow morning. Reporting live in downtown South Bend, I'm Maria Catanzarite for News Center 16.
All right, and Maria, do you know, and the police said, should people in that area be concerned about somebody being on the loose? Do they have anybody in custody? Have they taken anybody aside? Do they have any witnesses to this thing?
That's something that police have not echoed to me. They have not said that they are looking for a suspect, nor that somebody could be on the loose. However, the Metro Homicide Commander, Tim Corbett, he just arrived on scene just a few minutes ago, so that'll be something I'll be sure to speak with him about as soon as he becomes available.
All right, Maria, we'll check back in with you after sports. All right, Maria, thanks a lot. Well, turning now to another intense story. The couple run over by a car while they were driving a motorcycle, now speaking out. Joseph Calderazzo and Melanie Milinkovich say they were out for a ride on Memorial Day when they exchanged harsh words with the driver they describe as aggressive. That driver allegedly drove over the couple's motorcycle while they were on it. The incident was caught on camera. You can see the car stopped alongside the group of motorcycles when the driver suddenly turns and runs over one of the bikes. The couple riding the motorcycle wants to remind drivers that the fender bender for you could cause serious injuries to a biker.
That's the consequence that he doesn't understand, is running over a motorcyclist, physically over a motorcyclist, is going to kill them. Luckily, it didn't happen this time, but I mean, that's the intent is to run us over, then the intent is to kill us.
Florida Highway Patrol says one person has been arrested, but that person's name and the nature of the charges have not yet been released. Coming up, Penn, Marion, and Fairfield all shoot for regional championships tonight in softball. Anj has highlights from all three games next in sports.
News Center 16 Sports with Angelo DiCarlo.
Tonight was high school softball regionals throughout the state of Indiana, and no one in our area has handled this time of year better than Penn. The Kingsmen shooting for a third straight 4A regional title as they welcome Memorial to Penn High School. Second inning, Emma Ledbetter with a big double. That scores 2 runs. Penn jumps out to a 3-0 lead. Then in the fifth, Alyssa Greiman. This ball may have hit Schmucker Middle School. A towering shot. That puts Penn up 5-0. That's plenty of support for Danielle Watson in the circle. She strikes out 15 batters, gives up no hits through 6 innings, and Watson ensures herself a no-hitter as she gets the RBI single to force the 10-run rule in the 6th. Penn wins 10-0. They're headed to semi-state for the 3rd straight year.
We're just doing our best and trying to go as far as we can.
Yeah, we were really excited and pumped for the game. That really helped. Going back to our last game, we played it like our last, and we played with confidence, and it was really nice.
It's an incredible accomplishment, especially in this area with the amount of talent that we have up here in northern Indiana. And, you know, we're just so proud of being able to have those accolades and to continue just building our program into what it is.
And a very nice gesture after the game by the Penn seniors as they gave flowers to Memorial senior Desiree Uribe. Desiree's father, Reggie, was killed in a motorcycle accident recently, but Desiree has shown incredible strength to continue to play on with her teammates. Our thoughts and prayers are with her and her family during this difficult time. And back on the field, the Kingsmen are headed to West Lafayette for semi-state on Saturday. They'll face Zionsville in the semifinals at 11 a.m. The winner then plays for a spot in the state finals at 7 p.m. that night. To the 3A regional championship, Marion hosting Western. This is a pitcher's duel, and the Knights strike first. However, in the 4th, perfect bump by Olivia Douglas. Megan Reba slides home. Marion's up 1-0. Then some insurance in the 5th. Jessica Nowicki slaps it to center. That plates Megan Urbanski to make it 2-0. And that was plenty for pitcher Brooke Stoltz. Another fantastic outing from her. The Knights win it 2-0 as Marion wins its first regional title since '08.
It's pretty cool. I mean, these kids are just, I mean, that was really a battle. That was really a real good softball game. And to know that we came out on top now gives us one step closer to the ultimate goal for any high school team that starts the season.
We're so pumped. There's no feeling to describe it. I just want to go out there and play our best and hopefully win semi-state.
Also in 3A, Fairfield's hosting Dwenger this evening. The Falcons trail 2-0 into the 6th. That's when the bats come alive. DJ March drives in Fairfield's first run. Then she comes in to score as Jalissa Schwartz doubles. That ties the game up at 2. Still in the 6th, how about Samantha Shank? Base hit up the middle. Go-ahead run scores. Fairfield rallies to win 3-2. They captured just their 2nd regional title in school history. And Fairfield faces Kankakee Valley in the first semifinal Saturday at Twin Lakes, with Marion to follow in Game 2. In 1A, South Central beats Triton tonight for the regional championship. Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Cubs versus the Dodgers. Once again, fantastic. He strikes out 8, gives up just 2 hits and no runs in 7 innings, but gets no run support. And in the 8th, Clayton Richard gives up the game's first run to Adrian Gonzalez. The Dodgers now lead 5-0 right now in the 9th. White Sox on a 7-game skid heading into the evening. Looked like it was going to be 8, but the Sox rally, trailing 4-0. Todd Frazier with a 2-run shot to make it 4-2. Later, it was Tyler Saladino to give them the lead. Sox go on to win this one 6-4, get a much-needed win to snap a 7-game losing streak.
Alex, thanks a lot. Well, coming up, an update from Maria Catanzarite on that fatal shooting in the heart of downtown South Bend. Stay with us.
Maria Catan's right here in the heart of downtown South Bend, bringing you the latest updates about an apparent fatal shooting that happened just a little less than an hour ago right outside of Fiddler's Hearth. I did just speak to the Metro Homicide Commander, who says they now have a suspect down at Metro Homicide along with a half a dozen witnesses. And it was around 10:30 this evening when South Bend police, they got to the corner of Main and Colfax, again right outside of Fiddler's Hearth, where they found a black man apparently shot dead in the middle of the street. Now, when police arrived, the suspect supposedly got out, or he put his hands up. The suspect, described as a male white, he had multiple weapons on him. Police say it's unclear at this point the relationship between the two, whether or not they knew each other. They say it's possible that there could have been an altercation between the suspect and the victim, but again, the suspect is now at the Metro Homicide, and so are half a dozen witnesses. We'll be sure to bring you the latest updates on this fatal shooting in South Bend as soon as we learn more. Live in downtown South Bend, I'm Maria Catanzarite.